Hi, today we are going to be looking at using CATIA to do features. CATIA is a 3D modeling software used by a lot of top tier companies in the world to do, top tier engineering companies to do 3D CAD, CAE and CAM products. CATIA is used by a lot of people, by companies, by institutions to model, analyze, and also plays a major role in manufacturing. Today we are using, in previous tutorials we had thought about using sketches. We had taught sketches, and we mentioned the limitation. We also used sketch constraints, sketch relations to get our sketches right. But it's not just enough to do sketches. You must learn how to move from sketching to doing features that can be utilized in the real world. So very quickly we'll get started. So to do a sketch and a feature, we first go to start. We click on start, and after start we go to mechanical design, and then we click on part design. When we hit the part design, this tab pops up, and then we type in. However, so for the purpose of this tutorial, I will type tutorial 2 and I click yes, and immediately we are taken to the place where we can, a window where we can do our sketches. So to do the sketch, you select a plane and then you hit the sketch button, and immediately we are shown our sketch window, and here we can do our sketches. We will draw a rectangle and dimension the rectangle. You click smart dimension, you select 170 by 70. So we've dimensioned our rectangle, and we see that the moment we are done dimensioning, the rectangle turns green. That means it's fully defined. When a sketch is fully defined, and this goes across all softwares, when a sketch is fully defined, it cannot be updated, it cannot be changed. The orientation cannot be changed, the size cannot be changed. It's fully defined. Okay, so for a sketch to be fully defined, its dimensions must be given, and it must have a defined relationship with the origin. I come again. For a sketch to be fully defined, its dimensions must be given totally, and it must have a defined relationship with the origin point. We see that the edge of our sketch is fixed on the origin point, and its dimensions are given, so it's totally green and fully defined. Now we will exit the sketch workbench, and then we will move forward. Now, to use the padding option, for this tutorial we are going to be looking at the pad. The pad is a tool by CATIA that is used to give thickness to your sketch. So you've drawn this sketch and it's looking good, and it's not just enough to draw the sketch. You want to give it some thickness, you want to make it a model, you want to give it a 3D feel, right? Because right now it's in 2D, it's only two planes, and you want to give it a thickness, a volume, right? So we click on pad, and we get this warning: the current in-work object isn't the body. The new solid feature is created after the last feature of the pad body. This is just a warning. Doesn't affect your work. The software just gives it to you to warn you about how good your sketches, how accurate your sketches can be, right? So we select yes, and then the moment we hit it, we see that our pad comes up, and we see a certain thickness applied to our model, our sketch, and The moment you pad, it stops being a sketch, it becomes a model. And here we go. And here we can see that a height of 20 is given to this model. Of course, we can change that. We can select 40. We can select 50. We can select 60. Okay, so we just update. Oh, you must increase the thickness value here. So we can increase the height of our model to any size by just clicking on the body of our model and update the size of the model. So for the purpose of this, we are going to be doing so increase the height of our model. We click and the height increases. We can also type in the height we want and increase it however we want to do it. And down here we have the reverse direction. The reverse direction helps us reverse the sketch. Reverse, 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 reverse. However the decision we decide to take, you can go up, you can go down. Here we have the sketch. The sketch is the 70 by 170 rectangle we build. That's the sketch. It is automatically selected here, but if it's not selected, then we must select it. So it's selected here and we keep it that way because it's selected. Okay, and we can also play with it. So we've gone back to the sketch, so we can play with it however we want. We go back, we exit the workbench, we go back and we can play with it. So this gives us the option. We can go back here and edit the sketch here. We can edit the sketch here. We can update the sketch here and come back if we want to. Update the sketch 180 by 80 and boom, we are back. Exit. We're back here. So you can edit the sketch in this option. Edit the sketch here and you can work on a new sketch if you want to. So here we are. The length, the height of this volume is 39 millimeters. You can update to any height you want if you so desire. And down here we have what they call the more option. This more options allows us to do a reverse direction. We can then do a second padding just beneath the sketch, right? So we can come here and write 20 and give it 20 millimeters here however we want to. For some reason, right? So I know you can't see this now, but let's edit object body. Pad object definition. So it's 1 millimeters. We can increase the height down here. We see down here that we are increasing the height of the height of. So this is like another beneath the sketch. We can do 2, right? If we want to do that, and we have this. We have our model set for use. So I'm going to give this 48. I'm going to give this 32. That gives us a total of 90, I think, or 80, and we are good. And we select good, and we're good. So this is our sketch. Our sketch turned is now turned to a volume. So this is how you do extrudes padding. In SolidWorks it's called extrude. In CATIA it's called a padding. So we pad our sketches. When our sketches are padded, it becomes a model for us to use, and the model has it occupies three spaces, X, Y, and Z. It has volume, it has thickness, it has weight, unlike sketches. So the next thing we are going to look at is how to do multiple padding in CATIA. CATIA has this amazing feature that you can do multiple padding with. So we select here multipad option. But before we select the multipad option, we first have to draw sketches. And so we select a face. Any face at all can be selected. You can select any face at all. Any face at all can be selected. So we select a face, this face, and we hit sketch. And once our face has been sketched, we can then draw on the face. Draw a rectangle, draw a circle, and draw an ellipse here. Right. All right. So we have a rectangle, a circle, and an ellipse, and we're about to give it use the multipad feature. So the multipad allows us extrude sketches, multiple sketches at varying parameters. I explained this with the multipad sketching. So here we have 3 sketches, and we don't want the 3 of them extruded or padded at the same height. We can just make the heights vary with the multipad. So here we have the first extrude domain, which is the rectangle, the second extrude domain, the circle, the ellipse, and the third extrude domain, which is the second extrude domain, which is the circle, and the third extrude domain, which is the ellipse. So we can give 3 of them 3 different extrude lengths if we want to. So for the first extrude domain, which is the rectangle, we give it a length of 10. The second extrude domain, we give it a length of 15 or 20, as the case may be. We can also type this in, but I want us to see the progression, how this thing moves. And the third extrude domain, we give it 5, and we select more. We can select more. We can also put a second limit at the back to give it different at the back if we so desire, but we ain't doing that. So we select less and we hit OK. So right now we have 3 extrudes at 3 different heights and sizes: 10, 5, and 15 millimeters. So this is how we use padding in CATIA. I'm sorry I call it extrude because I use SolidWorks a lot for my design, so I call it extrude. I'm used to extrudes, but it's called padding. This is how you pad multiple pads. You do single pads and you do multiple pads, and it's quite nice. It's very extensive. It helps you do a whole lot of gives you a whole lot of flexibility using CATIA. So right here you can update your definition. You can change the parameters if you want. This is 10, you can make this 20, or you can make this 50, and you're good to go. You can always update your definitions here if you want. You can always update your definitions. So that's how you use features in CATIA. The pad feature in CATIA, it's quite nice, very extensive, very fun. so you have to do a lot of practice to get used to it. And see you in the next tutorial.